All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And as you can see in the title, which he had power to do. Okay, which he had power to do. And I was reading an article that was on RT News, I believe, dealing with this guy right here you see on the screen, Elon Musk, and his whole Neuralink, which they were saying that the experimental monkeys that they used to test out this thing were, suffered some horrific side effects. Okay, and they had to be put down. And pretty much, some of them were suffering brain hermit. I have trouble pronouncing that word, but hemorrhage, her whatever. You get the point. They suffered that. You had some that ended up having trauma. Okay, some that had self-inflicted mutilation. Okay, so they pretty much started bugging out after they had their brains invaded by this experiment. Okay, which this guy is talking about having human trials start this year. Okay, because ultimately, what this devil is trying to do, all right, is he is trying to, and I got to be careful with my words here because we know whenever you speak in even close proximity of topics like this, they love to come for you. All right, they love to come for your channel. All right, so this devil is trying to re-engineer, okay, the creation of the Most High. Let's put it like that. Okay, so we're gonna start off here with the Book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 14, because that's where I got this title from. And it says, "And he deceived them that dwell on the earth, okay, by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast." Now, the he, okay, that deceived them, this he is talking about Esau, Edom. All right, and it really, when we deal with these kinds of precepts and we mention Esau, Edom, we're really talking about their higher up elites because they're the ones who have power to do these things, to perform these miracles. Okay, and it's through their technology. So it says, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. So let's see what words we can pull out of here. Now we have the word miracles here, and it says here, Samion. It says a mark, a sign, a mark, token. Let's see, a sign, prodigy, portent, an unusual occurrence. Now it says here, transcending the common course of nature. All right, which is a good definition for that because they have power through their technology to transcend the common course of nature. That means that if somebody who lost a leg, naturally they wouldn't be able to walk, or if they lost both their legs. But on a low level, through his prosthetic legs, he is able to allow them to walk. Now they're saying that there's been talks of this new device for people that were paralyzed. Once they get this new device put in them, they can set the configuration on it to where if they want to sit, they set it so that they can sit. If they want to walk, if they want to swim, they can just set it and it allows them to do these things. That is transcending the common course of nature, and they are doing that through their technology, which is actually knowledge or information or wisdom that the Most High gave them. And the only reason the Most High gave this to them is not so they can, not because He loves them, but it's so that they can fulfill prophecy. Because when you read the MOTB is a high tech prophecy. All right, the MOTB is a technological, it involves a high level of technology in that to be able to design something so small as a grain of rice that can still have the capability of doing, so much. Okay, that's that's heavy. Okay, but ultimately we know that the credit doesn't go to this devil; it goes to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because he put that in their minds to be able to do that. Okay, so the Lord really gave them this power. So, like it says, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Okay, which this beast originally goes back to that Greco-Roman Empire. Okay, heightened or having its ancient height or zenith during the pagan Roman Empire. Okay, and now it came back today as what we know as NATO and the European Union, having being led by America. Okay, so now, like I mentioned, the only reason that the miracles which they're deceiving people, okay, through their miracles that they have power to do, they're able to do that because the Lord put that into their minds. He allowed them, all right, to unlock that level of wisdom. Because if you look at the world today compared to some time ago in the past, technology, like the technological advances or advancements, have drastically increased. You look at the kinds of technology that's being used today to even begin to try and understand how they got it to work, that'll take you a long time. But that's because the Lord sped it up or is speeding it up in our time so that these prophecies can be fulfilled. So when you look at the rate at which technology has increased, it hasn't throughout history, technology has not increased at the same pace or at the same rate, especially in these last days. That technological advancements have drastically had a warp speed. All right, if you want to call it. Okay, so this is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 4, and it says it right here. It says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." So the not and the heavy knowledge, all right, in terms of Esau that's being increased is the knowledge of technology, right, or the knowledge of tech. Okay, and there and there's the saying, or they say that the technology that is released to the public is at least 50 years old, meaning that the actual technology that they have is 50 years more advanced, and they just release it at a much later date to the public. So people may think the latest iPhone is technologically advanced, or the flying cars or whatever, because now they have those. But when you look at it, according to that theory, okay, what they have is much, and 50 years is shit. 50 years, a 50-year advancement in terms of technology, that's very, very, very advanced. Okay, and that's ultimately why these devils have become so proud as to think that they can fight against the Son of the Most High when he comes back, to think that they can stop prophecy, to think that they can hijack the Most High's creation, all right, and do whatever they want, play God on earth, okay, and have no consequences, because they think that through their technology they can become immortals. They can transcend and become gods through technology. All right, ultimately capturing your conscience, all right, and trapping it or transforming it into the digital world. And if programs could last for a long time, if not tempered with and set up properly, they can last for a very long time. So if they can take your consciousness, and a good show to watch is, I forgot the name of it, upload or something like that, where in the show what happens is they're so far into the future that when you die you get to decide what kind of death you want, meaning that you can die and you can do the natural way, or you can die and have the artificial way, where they I think right before you die or so, they take your consciousness and they put it into a program, all right, into a computer, into some digital realm, and that's where you stay. So you pretty much, that's like your heaven. You just stay there for all eternity. And then they have people in the real world communicating with you, like customer service, and they call them your angel. So here it is, somebody's doing a 9 to 5, right? They come to work and they log in and they find out who it is that they're, assisting that day, right? So this person whose consciousness is in the virtual world is connected through technology to this person who's working their 9 to 5. So they come to the computer, they got their headset on, and then they come, oh, hey, how you doing? What's up? Can I help you with anything? So the person inside of the digital realm says, oh, I want this or I want that. And then they can program it from the real world into that digital realm for the person. So whatever they want, they can just easily get access to. Okay. So this devil, knowing that he doesn't have access to the right way, because he's not gonna go through Yahweh Shai. So he's, like I said, he's trying to play God. He has a God complex, and he's trying to play God in his own way. Okay, but the thing is, you're not omniscient, and you're not omnipotent. Okay, or omnipotent. So I'm gonna read Daniel 12:4 again. It says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." And that's what we're seeing. Okay, not only knowledge in technology, but you also have knowledge in terms of the truth, because we know more now than the past, because everything is being revealed in this time. Okay, so the next precept is, let's go to the book of Ezekiel, the 28th chapter. Okay, because dealing with this, like I titled it, which he had power to do, and he has power to do this. Of course, he has his military. Okay, but it's also mainly that technology, because this devil has been given a higher advancement of technology than any heathens that ruled before him. Okay, so this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 28, verse 1. It says, "The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus," which in Ezekiel 28 is really applied to Esau. Okay, it's just like you may read certain precepts, like Isaiah 19, for example, that talks about Egypt, but in actuality, it's really dealing with modern day Egypt, all right, which is Babylon. So it says, say unto the prince of Tyrus, Thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up," and meaning what? They're proud. Okay, because they're the Hebrew word for heart is lab, which is your mind. So their mind is lifted up, meaning they're proud. "And thou hast said, I am a God." See, because they have something called a God complex. That's why everything, when you look at the agenda of these elites, is always to try and they have that pyramid structure, because they want to be the one at the top of the pyramid, so they can fulfill their desire, okay, and satisfy their God complex. If they can sever people's faith and connection to the Most High, and they can try to just block him out the picture. I don't. Apparently, they think the Most High is like one of those "believe in me and I'll exist" kind of gods, right? So the less people believe in him, he starts fading away. Oh no, and then nobody believes in him, and then poof, he disappears. So if they can just get all the faith, gather it up, and burn it, then that's it. Most High don't exist no more. These damn devils, man. But with all their talk and their puffed up words and their vain speech, really, when you look at their attempts, they've really got to be the dumbest of the heathen. Because all these heathen, hey, even in the ancient world, these heathens acknowledged and knew that, you know what, there is a higher power, and that God of the Israelites, even though these heathens had their own gods, they knew and reverenced our power. And I'll give you some examples. Pharaoh was forced to reverence our power. Okay, Sennacherib was forced to reverence our power. All right, what's this guy's name? Cyrus, Darius, okay, Nebuchadnezzar, even this guy Alexander, Alexander the Greek, even Antiochus Epiphanes, Heliodorus, all of these people. Okay, they got that work. They got a taste of it. So when it comes to this devil and he thinks, well, now he got technology, he's gonna do whatever the hell he wants. It shows you that this guy is you're really an idiot. Okay, with all your so-called knowledge and your technology, and you guys are really a bunch of you Edomites, especially you elites. You feign yourself these high enlightened ones, but you're really a bunch of idiots because nobody in their right mind would think to fight against their creator, knowing that the thoughts that they have are determined by their creator. So the fact you've already been defeated because the fact that you set up your mind to try and fight against the Most High, the second you realize that the Most High put that thought into your mind in the first place, at that point you just stop. Okay, you just stop and just deal with whatever comes your way. Because you're saying I'm gonna fight against the Son of the Most High when he comes back. But the fact that you're gonna do that is because the Most High put the spirit on you and put it in your mind to want to do that. How do you fight a power like that? When you're doing what he's making you do. Everything you think you are actually doing or you think you want to do, he's really putting it into your mind to do it. So at that point, in your mind, but that's why it says the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. They've been deceived into thinking that they are some power. Okay? Khan, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshai Brakatham. Yep, like the elder said, stay in the spirit 144. Those who ignore history are doomed to repeat it. Yep. Okay. And this devil's gonna learn. He doom, gloom and doom. All the way. All right. So as it says in Ezekiel 28:2, it says, continuing, because thine heart is lifted up. See, and when you read these scriptures, it tells you why. The Lord doesn't do anything, just to do it. He tells you why I'm doing this. And when the Lord is looking for a reason, then he makes a reason. There's times where the Lord says, you know what? Make this person do this so that I can do such and such. I want to judge this individual, so make them do whatever that it is that is worthy of the judgment I want to give them, so I can judge them. Because the Lord is not unjust. He does everything with a cause. Okay? So it says, and thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of God. See, now this would be one of those precepts that the so-called Christians would take. They grab this, they grab Isaiah 14, and they say, there you go. See, this is right here, Satan. Right, and that right there, you read it. It says, "I sit in the seat of God." So that's where the Most High went to use a bathroom, and Satan jumped in his seat, and then he tried to convince because they had this big dinner table, and all the angels and everybody was there. So he tried. His name was Lucifer, by the way. He was the most beautiful angel in all the heavens. So he tried to take the Most High seat and arrange a coup in the heavens. But then he got some angel snitched on him and he got found out and he got kicked out of heaven. All of a sudden his wings didn't work anymore. So he fell onto the earth and turned into a demon with all his little friends that followed him. And he's been terrorizing humanity ever since, constantly going back and forth with the Most High. But see, Jake was sitting there and believed that, right? Cunningly devised fables. They'll believe that. But then when we tell them that, no, it's actually talking about Esau. Oh, whoa, hold on. Whoa, that's too much. You guys are making that up. It's crazy. So it says here, I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God. See, the Most High is letting you know through the mouth of the prophet Ezekiel that you're just a man. Okay, you bleed. What's this guy's name? David Rockefeller realized he was just a man when he couldn't get any more heart transplants. Okay? Hey, God, all of us. I'm saying the details because I used to believe that too, We were all caught up in that juice. But you know what? That shows you the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because that's why the scriptures say that it's like when you come into this truth and you go back, it's like a dog returned to his vomit. You know, you literally see all those things that you used to be caught up in as vomit. You look at it like, oh, what? You know, but hey, that's the power of deception. Okay. So you know, these devils, so you're just a man. And after that, those heart transplants, he realized, oh shit. When he realized, nah, this ain't gonna work. The Lord says, time to bring your Edomite ass back up here. Okay, that's when he realized, yeah, I'm just, you're right, I'm just a man. And you know when these elites are gonna realize they just men, when Yahushua comes back and they shackled up. And it tells you that in the book of Revelation that they said, what? Hide us. They said to them, let's get that. Okay, let's get that. But you know what's interesting is in the book of Revelation, it also tells you, I gotta find out which chapter, gotta remember it. But let's see. Might be 6. Let's see, Revelation 6. Let's see. Can we find this? There we go. This is it. Revelation chapter 6, verse verse 12. It says, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. Okay, and the start, now when you read in the book of Revelation, or when you read with certain precepts that deal with the destruction, you always hear about earthquake. And that's because of the impact from the missiles, okay, from the nuclear missiles hitting, as well as, you know, because that will cause the earth to shake, but you will also have actual earthquakes going on, because it's going to be a very great and terrible day. Okay, so verse 13, it says, and the stars of heaven fell onto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, which is also talking about those missiles, all right, and those warheads, because once again, John is seeing this, okay, in a vision. So he's seeing it, you know, fall. Like you can try to imagine, because it says here, as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. So if you imagine a tree being being pushed by the wind forward and backwards, you know, and that force is causing it, because with the momentum that the tree is coming with, the fruits are falling out of the figs are falling off of the tree. So you're just seeing, you know, which to us would be like fireballs, right? Which would really be those missiles. Okay. And it says here, verse 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, which is that mushroom cloud. And every mountain and island were moved out of their places, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, which are their secret bunkers, their nuclear shelters, fallout shelters, their underground bunkers, places that they can hide and think they will be safe from the destruction. Verse 16, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. Now, that doesn't mean they were asking for actual big giant boulders to come and crush them, okay? But what it means was that they were moving with haste to hide themselves, okay, in their bunkers. Why? It says, hide us from who? The face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? That's when they're going to realize they're just men, like we're reading in Ezekiel 28, that you are just a man. Okay? Yep, this is a good one too. Stay in the spirit 144, Isaiah 31 and 3. The Egyptians are men and not God. All right. And their horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fall together. Yeah, because you got a lot of Jake that look at Esau as if he's more than that. But the Most High is going to bring him down so low. A lot of Israelites in the kingdom are going to look back and be like, how the hell were we deceived by this thing over here? You know, as the scriptures say that they're gonna narrowly look upon them. They go, well, this filthy red creature in how are we deceived? You know, by this thing right here. You know, so it says here, verse continuing in verse 2, it says, and in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Because the you know, that's the God complex that they have. All right. Verse 3 says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. So now, what does it mean by they are wiser than Daniel? Because Daniel was, it was said that, well, when you read in the book of Daniel, they said he had the wisdom of the gods, you know, because imagine, yo, for you to be able to tell somebody their dream, to tell somebody their dream and then break it down to them, that's not a light thing. You know, the wisdom the Lord blessed Daniel with was from the heavens, right? So now it says they are wiser than Daniel. Why? Because there's certain things that they can figure out, okay, without you even having to tell them. How? With their technology. For them to be able to put a pacemaker inside somebody and be able to measure their heart rate and all these different things, you know, they have these workout machines that you know, like a bike, and you just hold, there's a certain part of the handle that when you put your hands on, it has like little metal, like clear metal area, and you put your palms on it, and they can read your heart rate from that. Okay, they can take a recording of sound of somebody's voice and identify who it is that's speaking. Okay, all of these things, through their technology. That's why it says there is no secret that they can hide from thee. Okay, because through this devil's technology, he is able to access information that you otherwise would not be able to get. Facial recognition. Okay, they have facial recognition to the point where all they need is just a certain portion of your face. Maybe they just need your eyes, and they can just run that, you know, on a specific level. You ever wonder how you put when you have your certain phones where your passcode is your fingerprint, and you put your fingerprint on the phone, and then it reads it, and then it can differentiate between yours and somebody else's, to where only your fingerprint unlocks your phone. These are all things that you look at. How the hell, how, you know what I'm saying? Like how do you, who thinks of that? You know, how do you do that? You know, when you look at some of these security doors that go with they had to scan the individual's eye before they give them access. You say, well, how does that device? What is it scanning for exactly? You know, it's looking at your eye. What is it storing about your eye and checking within its database to, once again, but this is all through what? Their technology. This is how they're able to do these miracles. This is a part of what or which he had power to do. Okay. Verse 4 says that with thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy wisdom and by thy traffic, which is business, thou hast increased thy riches, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Yeah, because they're the richest people on the planet in terms of physical riches. Okay, so in their mind is, who is this individual? Was it Edward G. Griffin, something like that? Who I think he was from the documentary. Oh man, I forgot the name of this documentary. The Capitalist Conspiracy, I believe that's what it's called. And he said, it was said in that documentary that these people are so rich now. When you get rich to a certain point, you know, regular things that money buys doesn't satisfy you anymore. Okay, like your mindset is now, you know, on a whole nother level. What intrigues you, you know, and the sport, like the level in which you're investing now is far beyond things that money can buy. Okay, and so that's these devils. Their heart has been lifted up because they have all that money. Because anything they want, they can get just by a command. Because they have power through their riches, so they're proud. right? Why should they fear? Who should they fear? Like Pharaoh said, who is the Most High that I should fear him, or I should listen to him and let you people go? Verse 6, it says, therefore, therefore means as a result of, right? Therefore, in conclusion, because of whatever you read previously, like when you were a kid, they teach you when you're writing paragraphs and when you're writing essays, and they teach you what they taught us was raft, right? You restate the question, then you answer the question, then you put an example or supporting details, right? Your raft, restate, answer, for example, and then you have the T for the therefore, which is like your conclusion, is like you're wrapping it all up. This is the message. This is the overall thought. So the Most High says, okay, because of your pride, because I gave you some wisdom to accomplish certain things, you don't let that go to your head, and you've become so proud, you have this God complex. Therefore, right, the conclusion of the matter is, thus saith the Lord, power, because you have set in your mind, or because you have set your mind as the heart of God, you think you above everybody, you think you're this top OG or whatnot, okay? Because thou hast set thy heart, it says, as the heart of God, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom. So now what is that sword? Because when you go into the book of, what's that, Jeremiah 50 and 51, it talks about uh, uh um these nations gather round about Babylon, okay, spare no arrows. So ultimately what's going to happen? You're going to have these nations that are going to turn on this devil, okay? You're going to have these nations that are getting ready to go to war with this devil, okay? Russia, China, North Korea, Iran. And then as you read in Revelation 17, even this America's allies are going to turn on her. And what are they going to do? What is that sword that they're going to use? Their nuclear missiles, their weapons. Okay, their weapons. All right. So it says, where are we at? There we go. They shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. And you can read also Isaiah 47. Okay. Verse 8, it says, they shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Yeah, because what happens when somebody's slain in the midst of the seas? If somebody dies on the ship, what happens to their body? They throw it over, right? They don't bury it. There ain't no way to bury it. You just throw it over into the ocean somewhere, and that's it. Okay. And when you die, and your body's not buried, that's in the ancient world, that was like a disgraceful, right? Because often you would hear such and such died and he slept with his fathers, or they buried him, like Abraham bought that area where he wanted to be buried. So you would have like a family sepulcher, okay, where you would bury, like people, some of the kings will be buried with the great kings and whatnot. Now, if your ass don't get buried, you just get, either your corpse, or you just get thrown somewhere. That was, because where's your memorial? Okay. But that's gonna happen to this devil. This devil's gonna be taken out of power. And the thing is, ain't nobody's gonna look for this devil to feel bad for him. Okay. It says, verse 9, wilt thou yet say, it says, wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am God? Right? See, when that destruction comes, when you get taken out your power, when you suffering the things the Lord is bringing, are you gonna say then I'm God? Are you gonna see a nuclear missile coming? Because the scripture said all faces shall gather blackness and they shall be pained. You're gonna look up, see the destruction coming. I'm God. You're gonna do what dude from 300, Xerxes in the movie, war. His deep ass voice and shit. You're gonna see that one disgusting ass Edomite. Matter of fact, you might see Jacob Rothschild standing on the top of the freaking Statue of Liberty, looking at the missiles coming, talking about some war. I have now become as God. And, so he's being facetious here. Like, will thou say before him that slayeth thee, I am God? You talking all this shit. It says, but thou shalt be a man and know God. That's when you gonna realize, oh no, I ain't no God. It says, in the land, Slakia, in the hand of him that slayeth thee, thou shalt, because that's when you get humbled. You have people that go around proud, talking all the shit in the world, but in the day where they get humbled, where they either get their ass beat or where their life is threatened, that's when they realize, yeah, nah, I'm not, I was just puffed up. It was all vain. Okay. And they become some of the most humble people you've ever seen. You're like, what? Such and such. It says, verse 10, thou shalt die the deaths of the uncircumcised by the hand of strangers, for I have spoken it, saith the Lord power. Yeah, ultimately that's going to be the end of this devil. And you know what? It's going to give credit, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because people are going to look at this devil and say, wait, this guy, with all his technology, he could put charagmas inside of people and make them do this and do this and do that. And he was taken out. His kingdom was taken out that fast. Babylon was taken out in an hour. With all the things that it's been able to do, its military and all this, just like that. Okay. But lastly, I want to get a precept in the book of Isaiah 14 just to finish it off, because right now they have the power, but they're proud with that power, not realizing that the only reason they have that power is to fulfill prophecy. Okay, and once that's done, that's it. They're getting stripped all the way down. So this is Isaiah chapter 14, verse let's see. I'm gonna start at 6 and jump around. Isaiah 14 and 6, it says, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindereth. Yeah, because like I said, nobody's gonna feel bad. Okay, nobody's gonna come in. No, don't get Esau. Everybody wants a piece of your ass. Okay, you like Scar after the hyenas done heard him talking shit about them, and he lost everything, and now he's there trying to crack jokes with him and shit. Talking about his plans, and they're looking at him like, ain't this the nigga that was talking all that shit? Guys, hold on a second. Let's talk about this. And then they freaking pounce on his ass. So that's what's gonna happen. They ain't nobody gonna hinder. No, whoa, that's Esau. No. Okay. Now I want to get to the part. Let's see. Here we go. So this is Isaiah verse 11. It says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. So their pride, because remember, it spoke so much about their pride, and the Lord hates pride. Okay, he's gonna humble that. It says, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. All right, which applying that to their infrastructure. Okay, and looking at, especially dealing with America. Now you may think America's one of them top countries everybody want to go to, but if you look at the infrastructure, it's not grade A. Okay, and that's why they're talking about infrastructure bills and doing this and doing that and so on and so forth. Okay, verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Once again, here you're going to have a Christian pop his head up. Isaiah 14 and 12. Yeah, that's the precept. It says there, how art thou fallen from heaven? That now we resume our story. That's when he fell from you see, it says it right there. Lucifer. Did I not say his name was Lucifer? He was the most beautiful angel. It says son of the morning, right? It says, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. You see, he's plotting his revenge. He said he's going to go back. He's going to go back to the heavens. I will ascend, not descend. I will ascend. That means he's trying to go back into the heavens. All right. He's going to go get his revenge. The Revenge of Lucifer, part 2. Right? So it says, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also. So this time, he ain't trying to take the seat of God. He's trying to go above. All right. I don't understand. I overstand. Oh, so it says here, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Verse 15, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Hell doesn't mean a place where they're going to burn forever. Okay, hell meaning the grave. Okay, it says, there we go, verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, meaning they're going to look down at this devil, right? They're going to look down at this devil and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth? Whoa, the man. Let's call that Christian back. I thought you said this was Lucifer, but it says the man. Yeah, but you got to understand, Lucifer he could be a man, he could be an angel, he's the devil. Remember? But it says here, is this the man that made the earth to tremble? Because Lucifer here is talking about these elites. Okay, the word Lucifer simply means enlightened one or light bearer. Okay, in the Greek is the Iosphorus, and in the Greek, in the Hebrew, I believe is Hayallah. It says here, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened up the house of his prisoners? Okay, all the kings of the nations, even all of them lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden underfoot. And that's going to be the ending of this devil. Okay, you're going to go from having the power to do all these things, deceiving them that dwell on the earth with your miracles, to this, Isaiah 14 and 19. That's going to be your end. So you want to know why these Edomites, they come against us so much and they get so mad? Because they know Isaiah 14 and 19 is waiting for them. All right. So with all the technology and all this advancements and all of that, the Lord is going to show you that it was all to fulfill prophecy, all right, which he had power to do. And once that's done, there ain't going to be no need for you. The only reason you even get 1,000 years in the kingdom is so that you can serve out your judgment. But after that, you're done, because there's not going to be a need for you. We ain't hiring you. Okay, you're going to be done, exterminated, gone through. All right. Let's see. This is Courtney Everett, Psalms 10 and 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above. It says, out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. Exactly. And what's going to happen to his ass because of that? The brother Gashan 72 Ba, Jeremiah 50 and 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder, in half, slice your ass, and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Okay, how? By Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai. So with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Until next time, Shalom.